Tonight's edition is Lucy Mwaura. But first, a quick look at stories making headlines on tonight's bulletin. Balancing the balance sheet. Treasury spells out austerity measures aimed at reducing recurrent expenditure and curb wastage. Term limits controversy. Political class remain divided over bill proposing to increase elected leaders' term limits. And Starlets in town. National under-17 soccer team Junior Starlets arrive in the country after their historic debut at the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup. Welcome back. National Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi has proposed austerity measures to curb government expenditure that will see national and county government officials cut back on the number and type of vehicles used. The proposals contained in the Government Transport Policy 2024 are aimed at taming the government recurrent expenditure and curb wastage. As Abdi Aziz Hashim now reports, the government had budgeted 12.2 billion shillings for purchase of new vehicles in the current financial year.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the press. I'm sure you are aware that my days in this office as a cabinet secretary, charge of national treasury and economic planning is now 50.
In a bid to cut back on government expenditure and curb wastage, Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi has spelled out new measures aimed at cutting back on vehicle purchase and fuel expenses at the national and county government offices. Cabinet secretaries will have to ditch the convoy of vehicles in their entourage and settle for 2 vehicles. This as principal secretaries will only receive 1 vehicle each. Mbadi's austerity measures also targeted devolved units, with county bosses set to receive only 2 vehicles, while their deputies will only be allocated 1 vehicle each. The County Executive Committee members are also set to receive only a single vehicle to carry out their duties. The Government Transport Policy 2024 also states that heads of parastatals and chief executives of independent offices and commissions, as well as chairpersons of state corporations, will be allocated 1 vehicle each. Senior cadre officers will be facilitated from a pool of vehicles, while commissioners of independent offices and members of parastatal boards will be reimbursed after using their private vehicles. The budgetary allocation for purchasing a new fleet of vehicles increased from 8.6 billion shillings in 2021 to 9.7 billion shillings in 2022 and 14.3 billion shillings in 2023. In the current financial year, the allocation for the purchase of new vehicles has reduced to 12.2 billion shillings. In the policy, the use of private number plates for government vehicles will be prohibited except for vehicles driven by security agencies. Any official seeking to use private plates on a government vehicle must seek approval from the head of public service. The proposal by Treasury, which will likely see tongues wagging among government officials, is also seeking to cut costs and curb wastage.
Any change in the tax bands should be to give Kenyans more money in their pockets, not to take away money. So under my watch at the Treasury, I am not going to propose or bring any proposal which would reduce money from the pocket of Kenyans, whichever way, whether you are the smallest person or the biggest, the highest earner. We need that money to come back to the economy to buy goods and services so that we can have economic progress.
Abdi Aziz Hashim for Legends Edition.
Buringa County leaders are calling on the government to beef up security in the region ahead of the start of the primary and secondary school national examinations on Monday. The leaders expressed fears that in the past examinations have been disrupted owing to banditry attacks.
This week and focus shifts to this year's Kenya Certificate of Secondary Examination, written examination which begins Monday, as well as the start of the Kenya Primary School Education Assessment Examination. Baringo North MP Joseph Makilap recounted last year's banditry attack on Ngaratuko Primary School, which disrupted examinations, and appealed to the government to upscale security to allow candidates sit for their examinations uninterrupted.
All our primary and secondary schools are open and they are operating and they will do their exam. We only ask you, the security people, to beef up security during this period of examination to avoid incidences like last year where the children of Ngaratuko was sprayed with bullets. So this time round, since there is order, please ensure that the examinations go on properly uninterrupted.
Naamini ya kwamba usalama imewekwa ya kutosha, na naamini ya kwamba ile usalama tumekuwa naye itaendelea na mambo ya mitihani itaendelea kwa njia nzuri.
The Kenya Primary School Education Assessment, which is part of the competency-based curricula, will be administered between October 28th and November 1st, while this year's KCSE kicked off on Tuesday the 22nd with the practical examinations, with the written paper expected to begin on Monday the 28th of October 2024. Teresa Mutai for Legends Edition.
The government has vowed to crack down on unscrupulous vendors who are exploiting farmers in the country by selling them fake seeds. Speaking at Uru Stadium in Tigania West, Meru County, Agriculture Principal Secretary Dr. Paul Rono emphasized the importance of protecting farmers from fake products, stating those caught selling uncertified seeds will face the full force of the law.
As the planting season draws near, the government is ramping up its crackdown on the sale of uncertified seeds, following alarming reports of fake seeds circulating in the market. Agriculture Principal Secretary Paul Rono, while sounding a warning to traders in possession of fake seeds, said anyone found in possession of them will face legal consequences.
Na ningependa kupatia notice wale wakora yenye wanatatanisha au wanaribu maneno ya kilimo, kupeana mbegu mbaya kwa wakulima. Siku yao haikuisha leo, iliisha mwaka ijayo tulipopata kuna shida kama hiyo. Na kama bado uchapatikana, toroka.
Rono, who was speaking in Tigania East, said the government will soon be distributing subsidized fertilizer to farmers at a reduced price of 2,500 shillings.
Hiyo deduction ya pesa ya wakulima yenye ilikuwa imekatwa kutumia kwa mbolea lazima irudishwe na iwekwe vile inavyotakikana ili mkulima asipate mbolea kwa bei juu kuliko 2,500.
He highlighted the government's commitment to support agricultural productivity. Addressing new macadamia regulations, Rono mentioned plans for a meeting with farmers and stakeholders to discuss concerns regarding the current guidelines.
Tuliona hii mbegu, hii mimea inaitwa macadamia, iko na faida kubwa tukiketi pamoja na wakulima ili wakulima wapate haki yao. Kwa sababu vile tumesema pesa mfukoni lazima iwe mfukoni. Na tumesema lazima tuhakikishe wakulima ya macadamia wamepata haki yao. Na tumeketi na hao wajuzi kuona vile tutasaidiana na hao wakulima.
Tigania West Member of Parliament John Mutunga encouraged residents to increase their cultivation of macadamias and avocados, as these crops can yield significant financial returns.
All the year round tunavuna macadamia. Kwa hivyo tunaomba ukirudi kwa ofisi yako, hii mahali inaitwa Meru, hii iko na mazingira mzuri sana. Weather ya hapa ni mzuri sana. Watu wanavuna throughout the year. Kwa hivyo wapewe nafasi ya kupeleka macadamia, maafisa wako, wataalamu waangalie kama imeiva.
During the event, farmers received not only macadamia and avocado seedlings, but also certified maize seeds, reinforcing the government's pledge to ensure farmers have access to quality agricultural inputs.
East African Community member states have been challenged to eliminate barriers to transportation that are hindering cross-border trade and slowing down economic growth in the region. This message took center stage as curtains fell on the ministerial session of the 19th EAC Sectoral Council meeting held in Mombasa. Transport and Roads Cabinet Secretary Davis Chirchir urged the East African Community partner states to collaborate in facilitating the movement of people, goods, services and resources to improve access to local and international markets. EAC Deputy Secretary General in charge of infrastructure, productive, social and political sectors, Andrea Malweth, said that the main purpose of investing in infrastructure development along the northern and central transport corridors was to facilitate movement.
Transport facilitates the movement of people, goods, services and resources and improves access to local and international markets. Therefore, removal of physical and non-physical barriers to effective transportation will directly impact economic and social development of our countries.
An 18-year-old boy from Crackdown village in Migori County is appealing for financial support to raise university fees to pursue a Bachelor of Computer Science degree. Brighton Otieno Oma has been admitted in Moi University but is unable to raise the 200,000 shillings per year needed to enable him pursue his dream.
The 18-year-old Brighton Otieno Ouma is a distressed person. He has been admitted at Moi University, where he wants to pursue a Bachelor of Computer Science, but he cannot raise the 200,000 shillings university fees needed per year under the new university funding model.
It's actually very sad if this is where my dream is going to come down. With the coming of the phones making communications easier, I have been inspired to personally take computer science so that I can improve technology, especially in the field of medicine. For example, I've been having ideas that what if you went to the hospital and then you find a technology that can make maybe that operation that someone is supposed to undertake become easier.
He has now resorted to manual jobs and farming in Migori County as he struggles to raise the funds and pursue his dreams. His mother, Irene Achieng Mwanje, has also tried to seek assistance from neighbors, but to no avail.
Majirani ukienda kwao pia hata wanatamani twende, lakini hakuna jirani sasa anakuambia mimi pia niko na mtoto mwenye anaenda shuleni. So inakuwa vigumu sana.
Brighton is now appealing to well-wishers to help him raise the funds and facilitate his dream of becoming a computer scientist.
Only requesting that if there's someone out there who is kind-hearted enough to help me raise my fee, so that I can pursue my dream to become a computer scientist, I'd really be grateful. This has been my lifetime.
His case represents many other students like him who have been unable to raise fees under the new funding model, with calls to the government to relook at the new financing model, which many have argued will make higher learning a preserve of the rich in society, leaving out many bright but needy students. Tilio Marco for Legends Edition.
Slovakia is stepping up its commitment to bolster Kenya's cybersecurity with a focus on capacity building and policy development. This initiative not only targets the pressing issue of cybercrime in the country, but also seeks to reduce the time required for individuals to become proficient in cybersecurity.
In response to the Memorandum of Understanding signed early this year between Kenya and the Slovak Republic, which aims to help in the implementation of the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act 2018, a delegation of Slovakians have launched a series of innovative training programs designed to equip individuals with transferable skills applicable to the cybersecurity sector.
Already training begins outside of the cybersecurity field, so people can learn skills that can be transformed into the cybersecurity field.
By leveraging Slovakians' proven methodologies, Kenya could significantly shorten the time required to build a strong cybersecurity workforce.
How to get that workforce as soon as possible is to upskill existing professionals, because in case we will just wait for let's say newly graduated professionals from technical school and from any other profession, it could take more than 10-15 years.
Their comprehensive approach to cybersecurity, which includes incident response protocols, provides valuable lessons for Kenya.
If the incident is a cross-border one, we have in the European Union so-called CSIRTs network, which is a network of national and governmental certs. And we have many different open lines of communication, such as we meet in person several times a year, we meet on bi-weekly calls, and we also have chat. And there is the entire procedure for escalation, so whenever there is an incident that, for instance, our country wouldn't be able to handle on its own.
Experts now recommend a coordinated response that involves collaborative threat assessment initiatives.
For us, it's very important to continue in our collaboration and cooperation, because memorandum of understanding for both sides, it's not only the clear paper, but it's a paper which we can be closer in the strong partnership.
Pauline Nasimir for Legends Edition.
Cabinet Secretary for Mining and Blue Economy, Hassan Joho, has pledged to prioritize women empowerment initiatives across the country, underscoring the essential role women play in economic and social development. Speaking during the Mombasa Women's Summit organized by Mombasa Women Rep Zamzam Mohammed, Joho also urged women leaders to develop specific programs and initiatives that provide skills, resources and platforms for women to excel in both business and community leadership.
Viongozi wa kina mama wote, there has to be some specific effort that will require of us to continue to support our women. Kina mama wasonge mbele. Na mimi niko tayari kutembea Kenya nzima kusaidiana na kina mama. Kama ni Busia, taenda. Kama ni Nyamira, kama ni Homa Bay, tuko. Kama ni Sia, we will be all over to ensure we empower our women.
Our goal is to keep every woman here with the knowledge, tool, and confidence needed to succeed in all areas of life, whether in business, leadership, or personal growth. Through the National Government Affirmative Action Fund, we have brought substantial resources to our communities, making a real difference in the lives of women, youth, and vulnerable children across our county.
A family at Botori Informal Settlement in the outskirts of Kisii town is pleading for financial assistance to facilitate the treatment of their son, who is suffering from an intestinal complication that has made it difficult for him to pass stool. Kevin Akwara had undergone a surgical operation but was discharged before he could completely heal owing to financial constraints. His family, who live in an informal settlement in Kisii, requires 600,000 shillings for him to be readmitted in hospital to completely recuperate. To assist Kevin, send your contributions to M-Pesa number 0746 242703.
Nikaambiwa nilikuwa na shida ya matumbo, matumbo ilikuwa imeshikana, ndio nikafanyiwa operation. Sasa hii Ndio niko hivi saa hii, nimekaa huko for 5 months.
Wakati kama ni chakula ni shida kitu, lakini sasa vile mnaniona hivi nilikuwa kibarua nipate kitu chioni afanye nini akule. Sasa mimi ndio nawasimamia na niko na shida nyingine, sio hiyo peke yake, na niko na nne mgonjwa mwingine tena alipata accident.
The family of Liticingwa Lekuku from Lekuru village in Samburu West, who has been battling kidney failure for 4 years, is pleading with well-wishers to help them raise 3 million shillings for him to undergo a kidney transplant. Lekuku was forced to abandon school following his diagnosis. He has been in and out of hospital, which has drained the family's resources. The family is now pleading for assistance for him to undergo the life-saving operation.
At Lekuru village, Samburu West. Here we meet Rael Lekuku, the mother to now 18-year-old Liticingwa Lekuku. The family's journey in battling his kidney condition is one that resonates with his neighbors, who often chip in when they can to assist the family meet their basic needs, as most of their resources go towards his treatment.
Sisi ambao kwamba tulianza hii kampeni ya kupeleka huyu kijana hospitali ili aweze kufanywa kidney transplant. Kumekuwa na changamoto sana ambao kwamba kulingana na familia yao, huyu ni kijana ambaye kwamba hana chochote, mama yake ni kijana ni yatima, hana baba.
His mother, who can only speak in the native Samburu language, narrates to us the struggles the family has faced since he was diagnosed with a kidney disease when he was 14 years. She says they were forced to sell all their livestock and the funds went towards his treatment.
Nimepata shida mingi tangu mtoto wangu akuwe mgonjwa, na nashukuru wanakijiji kwa kunisaidia kuchanga mbuzi, na ninaomba msaada zaidi ili niende nitibu mtoto.
We accompanied Liticingwa into the dialysis room where we meet nurse Lenguris Emily, who confirmed to us that Liticingwa has been his patient for the last 4 years.
Kwa hivyo utapata pesa, utaweka kidney ya mama yangu, utasurvive tu na hiyo. Kwa hivyo naomba hiyo msaidizi ya pesa. Unahitajika 3 million kuweka hiyo kidney transplant.
At his age, it is good if he can get a kidney transplant, because that can be a game changer in his life. So that he can continue with his education and maybe focus on what is there for him in future.
For a new lease of life, he will require a kidney transplant that will cost 3 million shillings. To assist Lekuku undergo the life-saving surgery, you can send funds to the family through paybill number 400-200, account number 4543.
Right, it's time for a quick break and we'll be back in a short while. Stay with us.
Rahisisha uwezo wako wa ushindi kwa kukuwa memba wa Loto Moto, na ni rahisi. Dial *570#, chagua option 1. Ukiwa memba ni rahisi kufika kwenye jukwaa hili ili kujaribu mchezo wetu wa Loto Moto Show. Na pia kama memba unajipa nafasi rahisi ya kuingia kwenye promotion zetu zinazokupa nafasi ya kujishindia chapaa na zawadi kibao kama TV, friji, pikipiki, mashamba na pia magari. Kuwa memba ni *570# option 1. Tushinde kama members.
Welcome to the Kenya Deposit Insurance Corporation, or KDIC, a state corporation established under the KDI Act Cap 487C. But who exactly are we? KDIC provides a deposit insurance for customers of member institutions. This means we protect your hard-earned money deposited in banks, giving you peace of mind knowing that your savings are safe. KDIC is also mandated to receive, liquidate, and wind up troubled banks, as well as provide incentives for sound risk management. We are here to protect your bank deposit and, together with other safety net players, ensure a stable financial system. KDIC. Safer, stronger, together.
Welcome back. The Senate Justice and Legal Affairs Committee has retreated to draft its report on the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2024, sponsored by Nandi Senator Samson Cherargei, seeking to increase term limits for elected leaders. This comes as a section of the political class have thrown salvos at Senator Cherargei bill disassociating themselves, terming it as self-serving. Our reporter Gladys Mungai examines the next stages of the constitutional bill that generated a massive public interest both online and through oral submissions to the Senate.
The Constitutional Amendment Bill number 2 of 2024 was first introduced in the Senate for the first reading on the 26th of September 2024. The bill, sponsored by Nandi Senator Samson Cherargei, would then be referred to the Justice and Legal Affairs and Human Rights Committee for consideration, which included facilitation of a public participation exercise.
I want to assure members of this, the public members, that we will do our job. We have listened to you. As a committee, this is not an exercise in futility. We will retreat as a committee and come up with a report that incorporates your comments.
For the interest of all the Kenyans who are not with us today, those emails will be considered, the reports and the views on those emails will be considered by this committee.
In the bill are 19 issues that the Senator for Nandi wants amended in the 2010 Constitution.
My only concern, and I want to agree with Bunge la Wananchi, I think from Jivanji, that this country, Chair, we are always on campaigning mood. Even as we talk electioneering period, campaigning mood, we don't have sufficient time to deliver for the people.
Kenyans had an opportunity to submit their views online, with the Senate reporting it received over 200,000 submissions via email, while others presented themselves for oral submissions on Friday, 25th of October, which was the deadline for the submission. The Justice Committee is expected to write its report and table it for debate at the Senate within 90 days. This means that the latest the bill can be debated in Parliament is in January next year. These as politicians remain divided on the proposals to extend the term limits.
The conduct and pronouncement of certain members, even the bills that they bring before this House, they are costing the image of this House, Honorable Speaker, because those bills are tone deaf. How can somebody just stand up out of nowhere, propose a constitutional amendment to extend his own term when he's here and he was elected for 5 years?
Miaka saba is a no, and I'm sure huku Western hawezi kuruhusu ati uchaguzi. Miaka tano hata tunaona ni ndefu.
Article 1 of the Constitution inasema sisi we hold the office on behalf of the people.
Na mimi nikiangalia yale mambo ambayo inaletwa, ile ambayo haitasaidia wananchi, ile ambayo itatatiza amani katika nchi hii, paka wananchi muwe careful.
If the committee reports reject the bill and the senators agree with its recommendation, this could mark the end of the bill. However, if the bill sails through the 2/3 of senators in support, it will be forwarded to the National Assembly for approval, and if approved by the National Assembly, a referendum on the bill will be conducted. For Legends Edition, I'm Gladys Mungai.
The late Mwalimu Julius Nyerere ruled Tanzania for 21 years, and he was a contrast departure from the African leaders who amassed so much wealth at the expense of their populace. A visit to Nyerere's Butiama home in Mwanza region tells a story of a man who was not much moved by earthly possessions. Our reporter Kasichana Masha attended the celebration to mark 25 years since his death and filed the following report.
56 kilometers south of Kenya's Hispania border along the Tarime-Mwanza A1 highway lies Mwitongo village in Butiama, Mwanza region, where the history of Tanzania is written. Mwitongo is the birthplace and resting place of the first president of Tanzania, Mwalimu Julius Nyerere. In parallels with other independence leaders of Africa, one who enters this village can have nothing to write of apart from the bustling Kiabakari open-air market, with locals sell their wares in scorching sun. Enter the home of Mwalimu, as he was referred to by locals and peers. This is the home where Nyerere will spend most of his weekends and his children will retire for school holidays. What is astonishing is that the area is free from caged walls, electric fences, or even welcoming big gates with main security officers. Though no opulence and trappings of power, Nyerere's home is just a simple African homestead, but is rich in depicting the history of Tanganyika to Tanzania. The home features a forest, a museum, and the tomb of the man who ruled Tanzania for 21 years. Nyerere, a staunch Catholic, led a quiet life, something that followed him to his grave, and he was a man perhaps who lived true to his Ujamaa philosophy. Emmanuel Kiondo, the director at the Julius Nyerere Museum that exhibits the works of the first Tanzania's president, delves deep into Nyerere's life, both in power and out of office.
Jamii nyingi za Kitanzania na tulipata uhuru wakati wa Tanganyika zilikuwa zinaishi kijamaa. Jamii ya kabila la Wazanaki ambao Mwalimu alitoka na wenyewe ilikuwa ina ujamaa wake wa asili. Kwa mfano, kama kuna familia ambayo ilikuwa ni maskini lakini ina binti, familia ambayo ni tajiri ilikuwa inashawishiwa kwenda kumuoa yule binti ili familia nayo ile ipate utajiri wa ng'ombe, kwa sababu mahari ilikuwa ni ng'ombe.
Kiondo revealing that Nyerere lived a life so simple and wanted to rest in that simplicity.
Kwa Mwalimu alikuzwa kwenye misingi hiyo ya ujamaa. Kwa na yeye akaona kwamba sasa nimeshakuwa rais wa nchi, nadhani mfumo mzuri wa kuendesha maisha yetu tuwe ni ujamaa. Ni kweli kuna mabadiliko mbalimbali yametokea. Tunasema bado nchi yetu ni ujamaa, bado tunafuata sera ya ujamaa na kujitegemea, lakini in a modern way. Ujamaa upo kwa sababu gani? Tuna mifuko sisi, kwa mfano mfuko wa TASAF bado unasaidia maskini wasiojiweza.
What deliberate efforts have we put in place to see that we actualize the vision and aspirations of our founding fathers?
We as the youth have embraced, respected and here to honor the contribution of the founding father of Tanzania, Mwalimu Julius Nyerere, because he played a big role in the first initiative of implementing the first phase of the East African community with two policies which later on were developed to become philosophies. One was education for self-reliance.
Kiondo even revealed that Nyerere never wanted any structure on his grave, but the state had to have it by constructing a mausoleum against that wish.
Lakini sasa viongozi walipokuwa wanakuja kutembea, wanalikuta ile kaburi. Ilikuwa limewekwa shedi kidogo hivi. Ilikuwa imewekwa shedi ndogo. Akasema hapana bwana, hii haiwezi kuwa hadhi ya kaburi la baba wa taifa. Lazima tufanye kitu hapa. Kwa hiyo serikali sasa ikaamua kulijenga, wanajeshi wakaja hapa, wakajenga kaburi hilo likawa la kisasa zaidi.
The mausoleum is now a sanctuary for members of the Catholic faith who have made it a pilgrimage site where many go to pray for their desires. And a debate is on for beautify the Nyerere into sainthood.
Wakumfanya baba wa taifa kuwa mtakatifu. Na kwa kweli mambo aliyofanya Mwalimu mengi kama kiongozi wa nchi, na alikuwa vile vile muumini mkuu sana wa dini ya Kikristo, dhehebu la Katoliki.
64-year-old Madaraka Nyerere, the sixth-born son of the late president, says his father never wanted largesse and opted for simple village life, even when his peers on Africa were busy accumulating wealth.
Baada ya kuwa rais wa nchi, rais wa kwanza, hakupenda sana kuitwa mheshimiwa. Kwa hiyo katika mazoea sasa ikawa mara nyingi wanamuita watu wamezoea kumuita Mwalimu.
For Madaraka, his late father entrenched the same culture on him and his siblings as they will return to the village during school holidays to take part in cultivation like the rest of the community, away from class politics.
Alikuwa anapenda sana kushiriki kulima, kwenda shambani. Na sisi tulikuwa tunaenda naye pia. Sio kama tulikuwa tunakaa nyumbani. Tulikuwa tunaenda shambani, tunarudi. Alikuwa ni mtu wa namna hiyo, kwamba alikuwa anataka aonyeshe mfano wa kwamba sio kiongozi tu, lakini kiongozi ambaye anafahamu wananchi wanashughulika na nini zaidi. Na shughuli kubwa zaidi ya wananchi wa Tanzania wakati huo ilikuwa ni kilimo.
To neighbors, Nyerere was like just an ordinary elder and will mingle with them freely when he was president and even in his last days.
This is the only prized asset that Nyerere left behind. It is said the house was built by CCM as a thank you gift to him. In his life, Nyerere was simple and down to earth. Reporting from Butiama district in Mara region from Tanzania, my name is Kasichana Masha.
Right, Topi Liambila is all set with the latest in sports news. Over to Topi.
Thank you very much, Fayyaz. As usual on this Saturday evening, there's plenty to come your way. Just take your seat and enjoy the show. The national under-17 soccer team junior Starlets arrived home this morning from the Dominican Republic after their historic debut at the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup, where they also won their first match against Mexico. Striker Marion Serenge was ranked the 4th fastest player at the global showpiece. Let's have a look.
The team, coached by Mildred Cheche, was treated to a hero's welcome at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. They registered a memorable achievement in the global football showpiece after beating Mexico 2-1 in their last Group C match.
But it's the players going the other way who are doing the running in behind, and it's 2-0 to Kenya. Beautifully struck.
The 2 goals against Mexico were netted by Valerie Nekesa and Lona Faith. The victory, however, was not enough to propel them to the quarterfinals after losing their 2 opening matches, 2-0 to England and 3-0 to North Korea. North Korea and England advanced to the quarterfinals from the group after registering 9 and 6 points respectively.
Lovely turn, terrific finish.
Looks like the girls are going places and we wish them the best of luck. Now, on boxing, Kenya's captain Elizabeth Andiego was forced to settle for a silver medal after losing her light heavyweight final bout on a split points decision to Morocco's Hasna Larti in the ongoing Africa Boxing Championships at the Stade de Mata in Kinshasa, Congo. Compatriot and debutant Clinton Masharia also bagged the silver medal after failing to Morocco's Younes Boudid in the super heavyweight final. Let's take a look.
Elizabeth and Diego dominated the first and third rounds, but the performance was not enough to convince the judges. And Diego was appearing in her second final in the Africa Championships, the first time being 2022 in Maputo, where she lost to Morocco's celebrated boxer Khadija Mardi in the heavyweight final. En route to the final, Diego defeated Joel Mari Mwika of the Democratic Republic of Congo in the semi-finals, while Hasna Lati qualified for the finals without throwing a punch.
Coming to this Africa Championship, I was prepared, I was ready to come clinch the gold medal and to be the African champion. But I was so disappointment on the outcome of the bout. It really came shocking. I wondered how the judges saw the bout. Was I did my best, was dominating most of the round. I don't know how it happened that I lost the fight. It still hurts. I don't know how to explain it.
Newcomer Clinton Masharia gave his best at the international stage, but lost to Morocco's Younes Boudid in the super heavyweight final.
Any other chance tukipatana tena, tengeneza tena vile itakuwa. Na concerning my first international fight na kupata silver medal, hiyo ni achievement poa cause si watu wengi wamejaribu na wamefika mahali nimefika, but ni bidii na kujiamini.
This year's performance by the Kenyan boxers is an improvement from last year's Africa Championships, where all the 7 boxers who had qualified for the semi-finals lost in Yaoundé, Cameroon.
From the soccer scene, Harambee Stars will be going for an all-out win in tomorrow's 2025 African Nations Championships qualifier away to South Sudan, although they are under no pressure to qualify, having booked their ticket automatically as co-hosts with Uganda and Tanzania. Head coach Engin Firat said although they had little time to prepare for the qualifiers due to a congested calendar, they will give their best to make sure they upset South Sudan in their own backyard before hosting them in a week's time. The first leg match will be played at 4 p.m. at the Juba International Stadium before the return at the Mandela National Stadium in Uganda next week.
So we meet Thursday with the players. We had only a light warm-up, and then Friday we traveled. Therefore it will be the first training we have. So therefore we don't have any preparation, to be honest. So the program is very tough at the moment, especially for the boys. So we will try tomorrow to put all together, because most of the players we have now in the squad have never played together. So, and if you have only one training, it's not really a preparation, to be honest. So therefore tomorrow we will try our best, and hopefully also to show the South Sudanese people good football.
I think we are ready for the match, and the coach said we didn't have enough time to prepare, but I know the boys are ready, and they'll show and they'll give a good match tomorrow, inshallah.
Now, the IOC has assured Kenya of its support for the enhancing various athletics programs in preparation for the Dakar 2026 Youth Olympics and the 2028 LA Olympic Games. Let's take a listen.
Today in Nairobi, after end of his 3-day official visit, the International Olympic Committee President Thomas Barr hailed the National Olympic Committee of Kenya for their robust Olympic solidarity programs across the country. He also lauded the progress made by the Anti-Doping Agency of Kenya in containing the doping menace and called on the Kenyan government to fully support ADAC to enable them deliver their mandate.
When we speak about inclusion in many ways, it means that somebody invites somebody to join them for a meeting, for an effort, for a program.
During his visit to Kenya, the IOC president toured the Cape Keino School in Eldoret, which is under the Olympic Solidarity Program, where he met with athletes before winding up his tour at the Kakuma refugee camp, where he met the IOC refugees athletes in their company of officers from the UNHCR.
From IOC to cross-country, where Edwin Bet and Machakos cross-country winner Maureen Chepkoech won the senior races at the second Athletics Kenya cross-country series meet in Kapsokwonyi. The third leg of the AK cross-country series meet will be held in Iten on the 2nd of November this year.
The 21-year-old Maureen Chepkoech, who graduated to the senior category after participating in this year's Surikwa Classic Cross Country Championship, braved stiff opposition that included World Road Running half marathon bronze medalist Catherine Relin and Romania-based athlete Delvin Meringor. Chepkoech outsprinted Relin in the final stages to cross the line in 34 minutes, 05.87 seconds. Relin and Meringor settled for second and third positions respectively. In the men's category, Edwin Bet won the race after clocking 30 minutes, 20.12 seconds, relegating Simon Mayua and Naibe Kiplimo to second and third positions respectively. Meanwhile, world under 25,000 meters champion Andrew Alamisi won the men's under 28-kilometer race, while Dorcas Chepkemoi won the women's under 26-kilometer race. The third leg of the AK Cross Country Series meet will now head to Iten on the 2nd of November this year.
Now, from the football, Kariobangi Sharks came from behind to force a 1-1 draw against Shabana FC in a closely contested Kenya Football Premier League match played at the Dandora Stadium. In other matches, Mathare United beat Talanta FC 2-0, while KCB humbled Tusker FC 3-2. KBC was on hand to file the following report.
a goalless first half, Shabana took the lead in the 56th minute through Brian Mishira. Kariobangi Sharks replied in the 64th minute through Keith Mbali, who scored from the spot after an infringement in the box. Elsewhere, Mathare United eased pressure on tactician John Kamau after registering a 2-0 win over Talanta FC. Centric Asango and Eli Asieche were on target for the Slum Boys. The win pushed Mathare to mid-table with 8 points, while Talanta dropped 15th in the standings, just a point above the relegation zone.
We now take a short break. Don't go away. We have got plenty in store for you on the other side.
Rahisisha uwezo wako wa ushindi kwa kukuwa memba wa Loto Moto, na ni rahisi. Dial star 570 hash, chagua option 1. Ukiwa memba ni rahisi kufika kwenye jukwaa hili ili kujaribu mchezo wetu wa Loto Moto Show. Na pia kama memba unajipa nafasi rahisi ya kuingia kwenye promotion zetu zinazokupa nafasi ya kujishindia chapaa na zawadi kibao kama TV, friji, pikipiki, mashamba na pia magari. Kuwa memba ni star 570 hash option 1. Tushinde kama members.
Say bye-bye to FOMO, the fear of missing out, by downloading the KBC Online app that gives you access to everything you love. Get the latest news, sports, music, entertainment news, live TV, live radio, and so much more at the palm of your hands. To get the app, simply search KBC Mobile Digital App in your Google Play or App Store and download the app. Catch what you want, anytime, anywhere. Stay connected. Stay ahead with KBC Mobile Digital App.
Welcome back, and it's good you stayed on. Now, from handball, Amazon men's handball team beat young Zealots 32-22 in one of the Kenya Handball League matches played at the Kaloleni Court here in Nairobi. Amazon came into the match determined to carry the day under the hot sun, and they did just that, to live up to their name against Zealots, whom they led 21-12 into the breather. Zealots fought back in the remaining half, but Amazon held on their lead to come out victorious. In other matches, Wakanda men were held to a 28-all draw by UDE Pipers. Kids Beyond Limit women registered a 32-26 win over young Zealots women, while Fireworks men beat Hammers 42-21. The Kenya Handball League continues tomorrow at the same venue, the Kaloleni Court. A3T Kubwa are the overall winners of the second edition of the Thika Road Cup after a 4-1 penalty shootout with win over Millennial Soccer Academy in a highly contested final played at the Thika Road Baptist Church here in Nairobi. Let's take a look.
A3T made their intentions clear early in the first half, but Millennial Soccer Academy defense remained solid, forcing a goalless halftime score. In the second half, both teams played to the same scoreline, forcing the game into penalties, where A3T came out victorious.
To me, it means growth, because we get to see children move from one stage, one level of development to the next. We get to see talent in Kenya, young talent that is being developed in soccer, both boys and girls.
Millennial came in second, while the host First Touch team was third.
If we give them an opportunity to showcase their talent, I'm sure we will be able to develop many players from this. With our MVP of last year, Lindy, who was participating in this tournament, she was able to play for Kenya in the just concluded Under-17 World Cup.
In the men's under-11 category, Phoenix A beat Golden Strikes 1-0 to bag the title. More than 10 football academies took part in the one-day tournament.
Our aim is just to develop these young boys and girls. It's not maybe really that competition, but to see how the skills that we've been training and what we've been learning over the week, how we've improved. Yeah.
After the conclusion of the second edition of the Thika Road Cup, shift now focuses to the Chipkizi Cup set for December this year in Arusha, Tanzania. For Legends Edition Sports, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
And now for the health and fitness enthusiasts, including sportsmen and women, this is your story. Have you ever fancied a shot at the World Major Marathon at your convenience? Well, it's possible with the high-intensity interval training, which has revolutionized physical fitness, as Daniel Mwenda of KBC Channel 1 Sports found out. Let's take a listen.
Inside the heat zone, we find a group of 7 athletes taking part in the high-intensity interval training under the tutelage of Coach Isaac Munene.
It doesn't mean that you have to kill yourself or you have to push because there's that high interval intensity training. It's all about working within your pace or to your comfortable zone or the comfortable pace you feel you're comfortable to do.
The training facilities are acknowledged worldwide but are relatively new in Kenya.
It's beneficial for any overweight person, someone in good shape, someone who's athletic, whoever the person is, because remember, you work out on your own zone. However much you're in a group setting, you're still doing your own thing. That's the beauty about this kind of setup.
According to the coach, HIIT is a new and revolutionary approach to physical fitness designed to meet the demands of modern-day lifestyle that leaves one with little or no time for personal care, as well as engage in other activities.
I decided I want to try it, and today was the day that I was trying HIIT Zone in itself. And I think I loved the HIIT training. Initially, I'm a bodybuilder, and I train different exercises. I do CrossFit, cross-training, and basically athletic.
What I like about HIIT Zone is that we nurture everyone in every fitness level. We have a beginner class that starts from 4:30 to 5:30 every day.
The program targets not only sportsmen and women, but health and fitness enthusiasts of all ages as well.
Pilates, you can do it anywhere because you only need a mat and a small space. You don't need a big space, or you don't have to be in a gym.
Training incorporates wearable devices, fitness tracking apps, and virtually relatively fitness.
I would not only tell sportsmen and women, I would tell everybody. Basically, what HIIT Zone, it's a new concept, and we sometimes are very shy to try something as a whole, as human beings, but this is something new to try.
And do you know what? A person can be able to run in the New York Marathon or any other international event live alongside the elite athletes during the cardio workout on the treadmill.
I encourage everybody to come and try this kind of concept we're doing. It doesn't matter your age, your fitness level, your strength level. I guarantee you when you come here, you'll really enjoy it and just see the benefit of this.
Good, let's go, last chance. You're doing now or never. Come on, go.
For Legends Edition Sports, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
Kudos to Isaac Munene and Professor Susan Mudasia. They are bringing us a new phenomenal experience to Kenya. Now, over 250 amateur golfers stand up at the Ruiru Sports Club to compete in the first edition of the Springboard Classic Golf Tournament. which was witnessed today. Now, the tournament, which will be held annually, is aimed at promoting young golfers and giving them an opportunity to compete for the top honors. The tournament attracted golfers from Thika, Kiambu and Railways golf clubs in Ruiru. The 18-hole golf course organizers are also planning to stage other tournaments to support the budding golfers. Our KBC sports crew was on hand to file the following report.
As an annual event with this partnership, so come next year we will keep on getting the relationship better, involving more golfers, inviting more golfers to come and enjoy the round in Rural Sports Club, and also partnering with Springboard Capital to make sure they also get value in terms of getting a customer base that is reliable.
This particular year we have gone above and beyond, and one of the things we have done is we have remained specific to health. In this last month we have also been able to hold a health format for people.
On the international scene, the EPL results where Manchester City went back to the top of the English Premier League table with Erling Haaland's early effort proved enough to beat struggling Southampton 1-0 at the Etihad Stadium. The result extended City's unbeaten English Premier League record to 32 games. They are now only... Now down to Spain, Valencia beat Real Valladolid 2-1. In a Spanish league match played today, thanks to Barry and Ayese Perez, who scored in both halves. Valencia are third on the La Liga table with 21 points, 3 adrift for second-place Real Madrid, who will host leaders Barcelona in the eagerly awaited El Clasico tonight. We shall be waiting. Snooker Ireland. World number 1 Jude Trump booked his place in the semi-finals of the Northern Ireland Snooker Open Tournament with a 5-1 win over Sean Murphy at the Waterfront Hall in Belfast. Trump continued his superb run of form to set up a last-4 encounter with Elliot Slesser after grinding his way into a 2-1 lead over Murphy. The reigning champion fired off breaks of 128 and 125 to secure a comfortable win. A 35-year-old will face Elliot Slesser, who also put in a strong display to defeat Louis Heathcote 5-1 in Belfast. Slesser reached the last 4 of the Welsh Open in the 2023 and was a semi-finalist in Belfast in 2017. Kieran Wilson will face Pang Jung-soo of China in the other semi-final. Take a look.
Really good performance. Someone as good as Murphy for as long as he has, he's not really played a part. 30. And you have to go right back a long time to watch Judd Trump on everything. We know that he's a bit of a winning machine.
Now 6 wins in a row against Sean Murphy. And there's only going to be 2 more opportunities, either Elliot Slesser or Louis Heathcote, to play Karen Wilson or Pang Jung-soo in the final. Put it past him. Judd Trump continues.
254. But now, this has been KBC Legends Edition, the sports segment, which I wound up on Topi Liambila saying over now to you, Fayyaz, Qureshi, to close the show tonight. Keep it KBC Channel 1.
As Topi always says, it's a wrap. And thank you very much, Topi Liambila, giving us the latest from the world of sports. And that's all from our newsroom. Our sign language interpreter for tonight's edition was Lucy Maura. I am Fayyaz Qureshi. Have a good night.
KBIC, safer, stronger together.
Rahisisha uwezo wako wa ushindi kwa kukuwa memba wa Loto Moto, na ni rahisi. Dial *570#, chagua option 1. Ukiwa memba ni rahisi kufika kwenye jukwaa hili ili kujaribu mchezo wetu wa Loto Moto Show. Na pia kama memba unajipa nafasi rahisi ya kuingia kwenye promotion zetu zinazokupa nafasi ya kujishindia chapaa na zawadi